Land expropriation without compensation is everywhere in the headlines, but it's not the problem. The real issue is justice. And until justice is restored, every so-called solution will fail. This isn't just a topic for South Africa, it's a global conversation. We hear promises of equality and wealth redistribution, but why do these policies so often fail? The answer is deeper than you think, and the truth is something the powerful don't want you to know. The real solution lies in understanding the root causes and unseen consequences, which is exactly what we'll uncover today. Stick with me to find out why this isn't about land at all. It's about a fundamental law that has been ignored for far too long. Subscribe now to our channel and be the first to access the truth behind justice. Let's get one thing straight. Land is not the root problem. Justice is. If land was the real issue, it would have been solved decades ago. We've seen land redistribution programs attempted all over the world, with the same promises of fairness and prosperity. Yet, failure is the common theme. Why? Because handing over property without a foundation of justice and accountability is not a solution. It's a power grab. It's like trying to build a house on quicksand. It doesn't matter how great the design is, it's going to sink. True, lasting change requires that justice comes first. The land didn't just disappear. Justice did. And that raises a crucial question. If land isn't the real problem, what is everyone ignoring? What's the secret ingredient that's missing from every failed attempt at reform? The answer to that question reveals why expropriation without compensation always creates more poverty. Think about it. Every society that ignored justice before redistributing wealth eventually collapsed. It's a historical fact. When you take land without a just process, you don't just transfer a piece of dirt. You destroy productivity. You shatter investor confidence. You obliterate the trust that holds an economy together. Who would invest in a country where their property can be taken away without fair reason or recourse? The poor communities who are told this is for them remain poor. They are trapped in a cycle of dependency, while a new class of elites, those connected to power, gained control of the assets. Redistribution without moral accountability isn't wealth creation. It's legalized theft that benefits the few at the expense of the many. They promise empowerment, but they deliver poverty. So why does taking land never seem to solve poverty? Because poverty isn't just a lack of resources. It's a lack of justice and opportunity. This brings us to the most critical question of all. Who really benefits from land expropriation without compensation? Here is a spoiler. It is never the people you retold it is for. These policies are a masterclass in political manipulation. They are tools used by elites, politicians, and their connected networks to consolidate power and wealth. The ordinary citizens, the landless, the poor, they rarely, if ever, see the benefits. Instead, their legitimate grievances and historical pain are used as a moral shield. Their suffering is weaponized to justify policies that enrich the powerful. It's a heartbreaking deception. Injustice is disguised as reform. Propaganda paints a picture of social good, while behind the curtain, a transfer of wealth is happening. Not from the rich to the poor, but from the productive to the politically connected. If this was truly for the people, why do the people almost always remain landless and impoverished? Who really wins when land is taken without justice? It's the people who wrote the rules. Now, let's talk about the missing element. The one thing no one in power is allowed to talk about, because this one truth destroys every false solution they propose. The missing element is justice with consequences. And I'm not talking about political justice, which changes with the government. I'm not talking about emotional justice, which is often just a call for revenge. I'm talking about universal justice, a fundamental principle where actions have results, where cause leads to effect. This isn't a new age idea. It's a law as real as gravity. When you remove accountability, when there are no real consequences for theft, corruption, or abuse of power, redistribution just becomes a cycle of revenge. One group takes from another, not to restore balance, but to settle scores. But revenge is not justice. It doesn't build anything. It only tears things down, creating new victims and sowing the seeds for future conflict. Justice ignored today always returns as a crisis tomorrow. So, what happens when a society ignores this fundamental law of justice for too long? It begins to unravel. This is why the only real solution is what we call time for justice. You cannot fix a land issue until you fix the justice issue. It's impossible. The land is only a symptom, not the disease. The disease is generations of accumulated injustice, unresolved actions from the past that are still demanding correction today. Our course, Time for Justice, exposes this root cause. It shows you how injustice builds up over time, like a debt that keeps growing with interest. It reveals why every land reform program that ignores this moral debt is doomed from the start. True societal reform, real stability, and lasting prosperity can never exist without moral accountability and a return to universal justice. The only solution politicians won't teach you is the one that holds them accountable. Land is the symptom. Justice is the cure. I hope this has opened your eyes to a different way of seeing this issue. If you're tired of the false promises in political games, and you want to understand the real mechanics of justice, then subscribe to our channel for more insights that challenge the mainstream narrative. And if you're ready to go deeper, I strongly encourage you to enroll in the Time for Justice course. There, we unpack the full solution and show you why only a return to justice can restore balance to our world. Click the link in the description to learn more. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Comment below, what do you think's the real root problem behind failed land reform? Thanks for watching.